So folks, we're in lockdown again. We're in level 5 lockdown in Ireland, and some of the people on our group here are UK based, so depending on where they are, I suppose there are different levels of restriction. And I know some people will be wondering, sure, is there anything I can do on my property journey now at this point? So there's lots and lots you can do. I was just talking to one of my mentees this morning about this. So I would say the following are ideal jobs to get stuck into while we're in lockdown. So obviously you already probably have a gold mine area, but start to build knowledge. Start to build your knowledge out on that. So you should already have alerts set up on Daft, My Home. I prefer Daft. I don't bother with My Home much. There is a very odd person who lists stuff on My Home that doesn't put it on Daft. But what I'm trying to now do is I've HubSpot set up, which is a CRM package. There's free options on that. And to save all the research I do on something, because I have a bad habit of doing research on something. And if it goes sale agreed to somebody else but not to me, I might have viewed, taken photos of floor plans, etc. I'm a bit of a tidying up freak, so I would have that thrown away then when I see it's gone sale agreed. But what I'm noticing is some of them come back on, then you've lost all your research. So it's a very good idea to use something like HubSpot to set up all the properties you view. Because even then, if similar things come up on that road, an area again, you'll actually be able to track back and see all your comparables, etc. So set yourself up your systems for doing your research and for deal analysing. Also your property price register comparables. I would sometimes download a full town in those. You know, you can put in the address. It's a little bit hit and miss now, the property price register in Ireland. If you put in an address, say I put in Longford, but I don't put in a more specific address, it will actually probably give me nearly all of the sales in Longford in the last year. So I can easily copy and paste those into a spreadsheet from there, and it's going to take way, way less time than if I have them in a spreadsheet. Obviously, I can sort them by address, by price, by date, and it's going to take way less time than looking up, you know, Park Road first, Forest Park next, Glenford next. It's so you'll actually have a data bank of comparables. But another thing which I would make sure I do in lockdown, and I'll be doing myself with agents near to me here, is take the opportunity of the agents being a little bit less busy. So most of them are still working half as normal. They can't do in-person viewings. They've tons of paperwork to do. They've sales to close that are already sale agreed. Take the opportunity to have a virtual coffee, a chat with people who would normally be in a mad rush and couldn't help you, but wouldn't have more than 3 minutes to actually go through some questions and familiarise yourself if you're new enough, or if you've been in a different area, or if you feel your information finding skills could do with homing up. So what would I normally ask an agent? I would normally ask them, what are you struggling to sell? They might have a couple of things that sat there for a long time. What are you struggling to sell, and why are they not selling? But the reason I ask that sometimes is to figure out how astute they are as much as to find out why. Because it'll probably be obvious why from the photographs. When I ask them why, it tells me a lot about whether this is even bothering them or not. Some people have stuff sitting for months and months and months and it doesn't actually seem to bother them. What's not selling and why? And if there's something there that might be of interest to you, you can then build on that and say, are they negotiable on price? Do they understand that in that condition it's not going to be worth that? But second question, what could you sell all day long? Where, what house type, what location, what's deal breaker? Is it a home office? Is it a non-suite? Is it a minimum 3 beds? Is it parking? Is it a garage? Is it a garden? What's the deal breakers? And I have started to put together, more from forums and stuff actually, a list of what I would view as the first time buyer's dream home. What if they could have everything they wanted in a ready built house? So then when I look at something, I try and flick through that list and say, right, is there space for a utility and a home office? Because the type of houses I do won't have really, probably didn't have these 30 years ago. So is there somewhere I can put in those things, that I can meet as many requirements as possible on this list? So there's nothing at all stopping you chatting to agents at the moment. Also, hit your social media in a big way. If you're trying to find investors, if you're trying to find people to work with who you might work together in an area, remember that for the people who are on lockdown and are actually working from home or have saved some time on a commute or are off work, they're online a lot more than they normally would be. So that's another golden opportunity. I was extremely busy, say, with training during the last lockdown. People want to be busy in a productive fashion. You don't just want to sit around watching rubbish on telly all day. So that's 3 or 4 things which you can do to really make use of your property time in lockdown. So get your comparables, get your system set up, get your social media all singing, all dancing. You really should be posting every day a post or a video if you really want to gather momentum. But also you should be connected with people, say on LinkedIn in your area. You want solicitors, accountants, you want all the kind of related jobs to property that you'll be needing to work with as you begin to find deals and place them with investors, etc. So I hope you find this useful. You're not off for 6 weeks, guys. These are all things you could be making a really good job of, better so when we're all distracted and busy. So, best of luck making the best of your 6 weeks in lockdown. If you're in Ireland, if you're in England, you may be on the park restrictions, and get those systems up and running so that you're ready to hit the new year with a bang. And thanks, it's Catherine from Intelligent Property.